The galaxy had known terror before, but nothing compared to the coming of the Rift Legion. They arrived without warning, pouring from the fractures of dark space, beings of shifting matter and pure destruction. Worlds fell silent within hours. Fleets vanished in flashes of colorless light. Entire empires crumbled as their defenses meant nothing against the Legion's devouring storms. They consumed energy, gravity, and even data. Nothing survived contact. The Galactic Council convened in despair. From the great spirals of the Then Dominion to the shining capitals of the Varn Syndicate, delegates screamed across the hollow streams. None had a plan. None had hope. The Rift Legion advanced through sectors like a plague. At the edge of the council chamber, a small unmarked transmission blinked for attention. No one noticed it at first. When it was finally opened, the words were plain and unsettling. Humanity acknowledges the situation. We will send 10. The chamber erupted in confusion. 10 what? 10 ships? 10 planets? 10 units of something? The humans had been a quiet member of the council for only a few centuries. They spoke little, traded less, and kept to the shadow of their blue world on the rim. Many races considered them strange, fragile creatures of short lifespans, fierce loyalty, and unpredictable intellect. But no one thought they were reckless enough to face the Rift Legion. Not alone, the council requested clarification. None came. The human channel went silent. For weeks, reports continued. The Legion burned the Then core. The Varn homeworld fell under a single wave of dissonance. Entire sectors went dark. Refugees fled into deep space, searching for any safe system. Still, the humans did not answer. Then sensors across the galactic rim flared. Something emerged from Sol space. 10 small vessels, each no larger than a freighter, moving with impossible synchronization. They bore no insignia, no energy signatures readable by council scanners. The fleets that tried to intercept them found their systems failing for reasons no one could explain. The ships ignored all hails, accelerating toward the central rift where the Legion's largest concentration boiled. The council watched the transmission feeds. They expected a desperate final act. What they saw instead would be studied for ages. The first human vessel approached the rift cloud. The Legion's mass reacted instantly, expanding to engulf it. The cloud's fractal surfaces lashed out in shimmering lines, but before contact the ship emitted a pulse, soundless, invisible to most sensors. The entire region distorted. Observers later described it as reality itself folding inward. When the distortion ended, the Legion's forward tendril was gone. Entire cubic light minutes of rift matter had vanished. The remaining 9 ships moved into formation, silent and steady. Each ship released metallic structures that unfolded into intricate geometric patterns. The shapes rotated, aligned, and merged into something far larger, a network of glowing lattice that surrounded the Legion's core. Every scientist who saw the footage would later claim the structure was impossible. It defied the laws of known physics, using forces not understood even by the oldest races. A human voice transmitted through the council's open channels. Calm controlled, almost bored. This is Commander Dale. Operation Resolution is now active. All council vessels clear the engagement zone. The council obeyed without hesitation. The human lattice expanded. Inside its boundary, the Legion surged and struck back. Waves of antimatter, gravitational collapse, and unknown energies lashed at the human formation. Every attack dissolved before impact. The humans had built something that absorbed destruction itself. The lattice glowed brighter until the entire area resembled a newborn star. Then came silence. The Legion's presence disappeared from every known sensor in the galaxy. Where their vast storm had been, there was now empty space, calm and unbroken. The 10 human ships drifted from the light like shadows through dawn. Each one emitted faint radiation. Their surfaces burned, their drives cracked, but they were intact. Commander Dale's voice returned, still calm. Threat neutralized. Containment achieved. Humanity requests no further contact. End of transmission. The council stared in stunned silence. Billions of lives had been saved. The menace that had consumed stars was gone. And it had taken 10 human ships. 10 humans, but no further message came from Earth. The ships vanished from every relay. The humans did not respond to any inquiries. Sol system sealed itself completely. Navigation beacons near the region began to show interference. Even the most daring explorers who approached were turned away by automated warnings. Decades passed. Scholars debated what the humans had done. Some said they had discovered a weapon that could rewrite matter itself. Others believed they had made a pact with forces beyond the known universe. A few whispered that humanity had paid a price, that the 10 had never returned home. One council observer, a Varn scientist named Ro, refused to rest until he uncovered the truth. He gathered fragments of human records, decrypting pieces of data long ignored by the greater powers. What he found confused him more. Earth's public archives were filled with strange references, ancient legends of self-sacrifice, of wars fought not for conquest, but for protection. Their military history showed a pattern, small groups facing impossible odds, winning not by strength but by persistence and unity. Their oldest saying, translated roughly, meant, "Stand together or fall alone." Ro began to suspect that the 10 were not merely soldiers. They were a symbol of what humanity truly was. In the 2 centuries that followed, the galaxy rebuilt. New alliances formed, technologies improved, and the terror of the Rift Legion faded into legend. Still, deep fear remained. Fear of the humans who had faced the unfaceable. No one dared provoke them. No one dared even visit Sol Space again, until one day a distress call reached the edge of the old human frontier. A research vessel, the Kira, had detected strange readings from the same region where the Rift Legion once appeared. The crew's final message was fragmented but chilling. "The lattice is breaking. They're coming back," the council reconvened in panic. Once more chaos filled the chamber. No one had answers. No one dared call Earth. But as debate turned to shouting, every screen flickered. The council emblem dissolved, replaced by a single human symbol, the same sigil once seen on the hulls of the 10 ships. A man's voice spoke. Not aged, not young, simply steady. "This is Commander Dale. Containment breach confirmed. The Legion is reawakening. New phase protocol engaged." The council members froze. The voice sounded identical to the one from a century ago. "But you're dead," whispered one delegate. The voice continued, ignoring them. "This is not a request. All council fleets withdraw at a minimum safe distance. Earth Command will engage Phase 2. The screens went dark again. Moments later, from every major observation station, sensors detected movement in Sol Space. Not 10 ships this time. Thousands. Each identical, each carrying the same impossible energy signature. They moved with perfect synchronization, silent and unstoppable. The scale of it was beyond comprehension. As the fleet emerged, something enormous followed. An object the size of a moon, shaped like a sphere of glass and light. Its surface pulsed in geometric patterns identical to the old lattice that had trapped the Legion. The humans called it the Archive. It carried the signature of the 10 who had vanished. Transmission resumed. Phase 2 initiation complete. Legion density will be inverted. Galactic safety will be restored. Stand by. The council watched as the human fleet surrounded the Rift region once more. The Archive opened, projecting a massive field that encompassed light years. The Legion, half awakened, responded with fury. Space trembled. Dimensions rippled like fabric, and then something unexpected occurred. Within the chaos, the image of 10 figures appeared inside the Archive's projection. They were human, suited in armor that glowed with shifting lines. Their faces were calm, eyes distant, focused beyond time itself. Ro, now an old man, realized the truth. The 10 had never died. They had become part of the structure that contained the rift. Their minds fused with the machine, their will guiding it across centuries. They had become eternal sentinels, guarding the galaxy from beyond mortality. As the Legion fought back, the 10 raised their arms in unison. Light streamed from them, touching every fragment of the rift. The energy pattern spread like a web across the galaxy's map. Every place where the Legion had once existed ignited in white fire, not of destruction but of renewal. When the light faded, the Rift Legion was gone forever. Space was whole again. The Archive closed its patterns, dimming to silence. The fleet dispersed without a single broadcast. Only one final message reached the Council's systems. Containment stable. Mission complete. Humanity returns to sleep. Sol Space went dark once more. Every ship vanished without trace. The Archive itself folded into nothingness, leaving only the faint echo of harmonic energy across the void. Centuries later, the event became myth. Civilizations rose and fell, but the story of the 10 remained. Children learned of the small, fragile race from the blue planet, who had faced the greatest darkness and prevailed. Scholars called them the Silent Guardians. Priests of distant worlds whispered prayers in their name. And deep among the stars, old sensors still recorded faint pulses from the direction of Sol, steady, rhythmic, like the heartbeat of something alive. When explorers dared to return at last, they found Earth unchanged. Quiet oceans,